Hello, everyone. All right, so this week we close out the Romanticism era, and we do so by looking at the late Romantics. We're going to be looking at Lord Byron, Percy Shelley, and John Keats. And they, even though they're considered romantics, had a little bit of a different attitude towards nature than what Wordsworth and his contemporaries had. So, Lord Byron, you're going to notice this is there's two poems here. One is She Walks in Beauty, which he wrote about a very beautiful woman that actually was his cousin. Her name was Anne Wilmot, but he wrote this poem about her, talking about how she's beautiful on the inside and the out, and how she's pure, which is kind of ironic since Lord Byron was anything but pure. He was kind of a horn dog, and people knew it. But then you got Don Juan. Some people would call it Don Juan. This is a poem. It's about a guy who ends up, after having an affair with a married woman, going on a ship to sail away and go on journeys and voyages. You're only getting one canto of this, so I'll have a summary of Canto 1, then you'll read Canto 2. Um, and even though uh, he's on a ship, things go differently than they do on the Rime of the Ancient Mariner. And then, of course, he's going to get on an island where he's going to meet a lovely young lady who happens to be the daughter of a pirate, and they're going to have a romance. So there's some differences there between uh, uh, Coleridge's Rime of the Ancient Mariner and uh, Byron's Don Juan. For Shelley, one thing I want you to know is that these late poets, these late romantic poets, I should say, were very much influenced and inspired by the early romantics like Wordsworth and Coleridge. Uh, but Shelley's going to write to Wordsworth, which is kind of well, it is a sonnet. And in this sonnet, he's kind of saying, you once were so great and you were an inspiration to me. But now that you've gotten older and more conservative, you're not the poet you used to be. And of course, that's his own opinion, but that shows how sometimes the people that inspire us eventually we break free and we grow out of that somehow. So that's to Wordsworth. And then Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc was actually it is a mountain in France, and it's very tall, and people visit it all the time. Right, they go skiing on it and stuff like that. Uh, in Mont Blanc, it's about a couple of things. One is about nature, but not the gentle nature that you saw where the daffodils were dancing in the breeze with Wordsworth. In this case, the nature is powerful, it's strong, it's indifferent to humanity. You got the earthquake demon teaching her children how to create earthquakes and things like that. Uh, but it's also about how the narrator here draws his inspiration from the universe or the everlasting universe of things, if you will. So look at how nature is powerful, but it also can inspire artists. And then John Keats. John Keats was he died a very young man, which is kind of ironic. He died from tuberculosis, which he caught from his brother while he was caring for him. But he was very, very obsessed with immortality and asking the question, is immortality a good thing or not? So, Ode to a Nightingale, yes, birds die like, any other creature, but the song of the nightingale is eternal. And the songs from nightingales, which we don't have those in America, they're kind of native to Europe, but the songs that Europeans hear of the nightingale today are the same songs, the same voice that people during Keats's time heard and people way before Keats's time heard. So even though the bird will die, that song is immortal. And then you've got Ode on a Grecian Urn, which has a very interesting backstory in and of itself. In Ode on a Grecian Urn, the immortality is that everything that's painted on that urn will be there forever, right? So there's like that one scene where the two young lovers are about to kiss, yet they never get that kiss. They'll be in love forever, they'll be young and beautiful forever, but they'll never get that kiss. So wouldn't you rather kiss the one you love and eventually die, or do you want to live forever and never get to kiss the one you love? And then of course there are other scenes on that urn that are discussed as well. Finally, this week is the week that we close out Romanticism, which means we do the Romanticism exam. It's all multiple choice. There's two parts. I've got a study guide for you in there under the reading section. So go find that study guide, review the authors, review the works, review the concepts. They're all covered in that exam. There'll be two parts, a general knowledge part and then a quotations part. So look at the general knowledge, uh, about the Romantic era and about the authors themselves. The quotations, they're long quotations, and usually there's a few words or a sentence or two in there that will make it obvious which poem or which work of prose this particular quote came from. So there are no tricks there. So if you see a poem and you see a prose as one of the options in the multiple choice, it's not the prose, right? It's one of the poems. Uh, and so some of these, like this week, you're going to read "Truth is beauty, beauty is truth." Um, that's all you know, and that's all you need to know. Of course, it's not those exact words. That's going to obviously be a very famous quote from John Keats's "Ode on a Grecian Urn." So the quotations, there will be stuff in there that will give you clues as to what it is the word comes from. So that's it this week. We're closing out Romanticism. Uh, the discussion posting, I think you're going to find a lot of fun. Look at it carefully and look at the example I provided for you in that discussion. I think it will generate some really good discussion. And uh, then take the reading quiz on this week's readings and then the Romanticism exam, and you're done.